They better have released the passengers from Flight 363, or else. Thank you. 13 months previous, science professor Frank Lyon was in his final stage of glory, having completed his grand and majestic invention. He had spent several years on creating a portable camera device that was the only one of its kind. It was a transporting tool. He called it Bridget. Bridget is a machine, or more like a clone camera, stores images in the memory of a chip that transfers you to wherever you desire to go, as long as the data is an image of a landscape or locale stored inside the device. Bridget helps you travel without cost, passports, security long lines, without cost, passport security, long lines, and countless other pains. Call it a marriage of technology and sainthood, as Saint Bridget was one of the noted patron saints of travel. Frank presses his thumb on the electronic padded device, and the image transmigrates into a same time, life-size experience in a place other than where you began. The first time he succeeded in making his experimental dream come true, he could not speak for weeks. The elation was simply overwhelming. It was beyond science fiction, because it was happening in the dreariness of here and now. Like the Walking Dead, Frank had functioned with mediocre purpose. His heart was ailing from having lost his dearly departed wife Bridget to breast cancer. Working on the invention had a hand in healing Frank forward. Having been a shy and awkward boy, Frank was fortunate in being accepted to MIT in the wake of computer technological advancements. But what made school even more exciting was a lovely Irish exchange student who swore a mean streak, winning theoretical arguments with her advisors. Bridget had translucent skin, a strong maternal body like a Celtic warrior, with a walk that let the world know that she was comfortably aware of her fine qualities. She never understood why beautiful American women insulted their looks, never finding solace with how the Creator had made them. They had good 8 years together. After Bridget's death, months went by when Frank could not keep food down, rarely woke up on time to teach class, could not look people in the eye, or even react to what they were saying. He simply was not present. One night in a dream that felt like a nanosecond, Bridget visited Frank and reminded him of the importance of forging ahead for their son Jimmy, who at the time of her death was only 2 months old. "Oh, lover, get off your arse. Frank, get that kid a nanny. A female hand is important, and make sure she's a foreigner. Everything foreign improves the American way. Don't you think it right, Frankie?" Through the right references and channels, Frank had fortune in the form of a sweet, boisterous Filipino nanny named Imelda Fernandez, who loved and cared for little Jimmy like he was her own. Most importantly, his guilt, now alleviated, allowed him to focus on another inspiration from another dream, another visitation from Bridget. It was this dream which was the turning point for Frank, who was certain that this was an exact and real conversation with the love of his life. "Frankie, get over it. Get over me. Get back to work. I want you to think of all the crazy things we used to laugh about, Frankie. Do you remember Dolly the sheep? Ack, that stupid doctor must have been some nutty lapsed Catholic. I mean, the nerve of him playing God was beyond rational comprehension. Do you remember, Frankie? Frankie, my love, when we used to laugh and imagine how you and I would only one day inspire the world with a better cloning device, a tool that might clone vistas and beautiful wonders of the world rather than the sheep and people, or sheeple as we used to call them." In half sleep, Frank, for the first time in a long while, was wearing the largest grin, a grin inspired by her dreamy smile, her ingenuity, peppered with their shared oddball humor. All of this was not a nod to the great life together, where husband and wife were not only the best of friends, but lovers, also a collegial team sharing a shrewd view of science, inspired by their twin dismay of the modern world. The dream was a wake-up call, reminding Frank of the potential abuse that would exist if human beings were to be duplicated. His Catholic upbringing and value for human life were still with him, and absorbed him from deep grief. Cloning landscapes and inanimate objects might be a worthy project, he pondered. The technology he had at his disposal was not yet advanced enough to allow duplication of any kind. He now had his work cut out for him. I know a lot of people from the writers group may have gotten my business card, but if there's those who want my business card with social media in regards to my my book, I can pass it on to you. Anybody else? Okay, there you go. And copies of my book are available for sale also at $6 a copy. Thanks very much for sharing in my story.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, would anyone else like to share a part of the